Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, season 7, episode 12. We're near the end, but not there yet.
I really thought we were going to get next time on the season finale
I
at
did
the end of
too.
this.
I did too. It's
I
my
just don't know
nightmare.
how, what else they can possibly give
I
me.
think there's 2 more episodes. It's been
They're
the
splitting,
same storyline. We
and
haven't
they
progressed it.
split like 4th of July into 2 episodes, so they're gonna split
Labor
Labor Day into two
Day.
episodes. Like,
Yeah, it's fine.
it's
Anyway,
fine.
um, ooh, I just burped. Before we get into this episode, I gotta do housekeeping. Check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta, Vanderpump Rules podcast, which is also live, and we have One Season Wonders, which has been in our back pocket, and we'll hit it up eventually. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Meredith, we have one new 5-star review.
Woo!
And it's a doozy. And listen, because it's a 5-star, I'm going to read this whole thing. Everyone stick with me
It's
because
a
it's
novel.
opinions. We got opinions from
And
dollar
you know
sign.
what? This is the back door on how to get your opinions on the podcast. So if you do leave us 5 stars, we will read it.
If it's 1 star, I'm literally going to say like so-and-so gave us a 1-star, wrote their opinion about the show, and then
Go read
fuck
it
them.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to read it. Okay, this is from dollar sign Brit 1208. 5 stars titled Love Your Show. So you know what? Loves the show. Brit does. Okay, so Britt says, sorry in advance for the novel, but I had some thoughts on the L&D drama and I figure I'd share. Danielle refuses to own her apology for talking crap about Lindsay and their relationship behind her back. Lindsay is essentially saying that their friendship changed because Danielle moved and not because of her relationship. I think Lindsay is struggling with Danielle saying one thing to her face and hearing conflicting things behind her back. I think Danielle is hurt and struggling, and because of that hurt, not being a great friend. She shared her opinions multiple times, but appears bothered that they won't accept it. She also keeps moving the goalposts with her expectations of Lindsay. First, her issue was that Lindsay wasn't drinking as much. Then it was that she didn't want to drive an hour away at midnight. Then it was that they were moving too fast. Then it was that they aren't having hard conversations. Then it was her claiming to be supportive, but also not acknowledging that she does feel weird about them. Danielle is actively pushing Lindsay away with her behavior. She's able to calmly express her feelings to everyone else, but gets impatient and angry with Lindsay and doesn't actually express her issues or needs. She also doesn't seem to understand that her behavior is making it hard for Lindsay to meet her needs because she also feels pushed away. And personally, I just can't get over the image of her screaming into a pillow at the news of Carl ring shopping or her actively cheering over them fighting and then being disappointed that they weren't still fighting the next day. With friends like her, who needs enemies?
Ooh,
Well, not one thing about us, but sounds good. No, I'm just kidding.
it was very all encompassing on what's been going on. It gave me good perspective over like the entire course of what's happened this summer.
Yes, I totally understand again where Danielle goes wrong. I think she does keep moving the goalpost of the friendship. That really like spoke a lot. And I also just don't think she's good at communicating her feelings.
Agreed. To
Period.
Lindsay. Like she can communicate them fine to other people.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
weird.
semi-fine.
But this
You know what I
episode,
realized
what?
after this episode?
What?
Everybody does shit wrong, and no one does anything like positive for the friendship between Lindsay and Danielle.
No, like
Like
the
there are
outside.
no like, you know what? Good job on that. That was really good. They're both
No.
terrible to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, I think the friendship's done. Also listen, I know that Lindsay is the favorite in this argument. I understand that. I am a Hub stan. I've loved her since the beginning. But especially in this episode, there's something about Danielle I will never like be totally mad at or write her off because
Yeah.
she is my representation, you guys. I
100%.
can't not love her. So I'm sorry for defending both. I just can't. But thank you for your perspective. Thank you for your perspective.
I think the perspective was a really great one.
It
I
was.
love hearing other people's. It really makes me think hard about what's going on. It's so
Same.
complex.
It is. It's this issue is layered. Okay, so thank you for the 5-star review. If you are not a $5 patron but want your thoughts heard, leave us 5 stars. If you want us to laugh at you, leave us 1 star in your opinion. Period. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about whatever the hell we want. Also, you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. It was on the Patreon first. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons, we will still keep up with Bravo News on our after show that you will get at this tier because we don't want you to know spoilers. But we got to talk about Bravo News because we can't stop talking ever.
There's so much going on.
Also, we'll say your name on the episode. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Courtney, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Kirsten, Ruby, Sarah, Taylor, and Tiffany.
Woohoo!
Woo, I did it. I did it. I did it.
You did it. You did it. You did it. Hooray!
Wasn't that
Did
Dora?
you like that? Yeah.
Was that Dora?
It was.
I'm really good. Okay.
Big
so
Dora
then,
stand.
Dora's my little Latina I used to watch on TV, but I was a little too old for her, so she didn't teach me any Spanish. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live seasons, I'll post. You give me your thoughts, questions, opinions, concerns, whatever you want. Also, you can yell at me because I said I was going to publicly humiliate myself on the podcast. I did not post until like an hour ago.
Oh my god!
And the episode was yesterday. But I was met with no hate so far. I want to be clear.
Our patrons are the best.
I want to be clear that there is no hate so far. Also, we will pick a patron of the episode. So because I was met with no hate, okay, but people responded almost immediately
when you did post it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pick two people.
Okay.
I want to give it to Tierney and Jackie because they both said, Alicia, it's okay. Well, Tierney said, Alicia, it's okay. We still love you. And Jackie said, you never have to apologize to us. So you know what, Jackie, I won't. I take back all my I'm sorry's because this is my fucking party. No, I'm so sorry. I really do feel bad.
Oh my god.
So I'm picking those two, and they both posted before we even started recording because they're fucking amazing. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Sorry about it.
You can't pull that shit on Vanderpump. There's way too much going on that
Oh my
show.
god, that's where I would be met with hate.
Yes,
which is fair. That's fair.
Rightfully so.
Okay, awesome. Okay, before we get in the episode, one of our very special patrons left us a message that has nothing to do with the show, but wanted to give us some love. So, our favorite dad, Chris, writes, Lord. Everyone needs a day because I was late. And then he said, in a couple of days, remember, the force is with you, or May 4th is with you.
Oh, wow. He's really getting that in earlier.
Be with you, May the 4th.
No, he's really early on that one.
I loved it. I giggled when I first read it. Like that.
Okay, I grew up with that. So like, I've gotten
Chris,
20,
she misses
28
you
years
so much, and I miss seeing you in the video, but you not being able to hear me, but I wave. I really miss that. Okay. So let's get into the episode. So previously on Summer House, Gabby is not a toucher. Corey and Sam are flirting, but they haven't hooked up yet, so we'll see what happens. Ciara got news that she might have fewer eggs than average, which literally had nothing to do with this episode. So I'm glad I could just remind you of her pain. Lindsay and Danielle are still fighting. Carl and Lindsay don't like how Danielle's questioning their relationship. But they don't understand how their relationship might be weird. And Danielle's just done. And then Carl got this ring. I'm done going over this drama. Now, from now on, I'm just going to write Lindsay and Danielle fight.
Yes.
It's so complex. I can't.
Okay. I literally toggle back and forth between the two. I'm like, oh, you had a good argument. You had a good one. And I'm like, why am I keeping this for?
It's too much. Okay, so we start out in New York City, and it was some undisclosed day because they did not give us the day, but I think it's Wednesday.
And you know what I decided this episode? I really like that we're getting more New York content because I think that's actually making it more fun.
That's the future of this show, yes. Okay, so I think it's Wednesday. So Gabby and Lindsay are meeting. Gabby sent Lindsay a 29-page PDF about what her type is, and I kind of love that. I'm gonna do that for you. I'm gonna show you my type.
Okay, I was gonna be like, you're gonna show me
I'm gonna
my
show
type?
you. No, I'm gonna show you guys like I'm into like
I like
famous
this.
guys. I'm gonna show you guys I've dated. I'm gonna show you guys
People you've matched with.
Yeah, people I've had sex with. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I
I'm
really
gonna
want
send it
this
to you.
PowerPoint.
I don't think it'll be 29 pages. I mean, I have crushes on a lot of people, but I haven't slept with 29 people, so I don't.
I bet between people you've dated, anybody you've slept with that you haven't dated, matches, and then crushes, you could get to 29.
Can I do crushes, not only famous crushes, but people I've had crushes on in my real life?
Yes.
I'm
Like
gonna
one
send this
page
to
per
Meredith.
person, you could get up to 20, 29.
Dare me to do this tomorrow at work, because I will.
Absolutely. I'll text you about it.
Honestly, Lindsay loves this. She does say like Gabby's type is all male models, but it makes sense because Gabby's in the fashion industry, so that's like the only people she comes into contact with.
Makes sense.
Okay, so then we cut to Ciara. She's at some place called Saint for her party. And then we see Rachel. And then we find out Ciara's throwing a party for being in New York City for a whole year. And I should have fucking done this shit.
I thought about you during this whole
did
section.
too. So this Georgia Peach is trying hard to become an apple. So New York has helped Ciara come into her adulthood, and the first year is always the hardest. But New Yorker nowhere, baby.
I mean, this is iconic, and it made me want to move to New York again.
It made me really happy to live in New York, and I was like, why am I in my apartment about to record a podcast? Why aren't I out there living?
And also, it is really hard moving to new cities. So anybody who does it, like, shout out to you.
Thank you so much. Actually, shout out to you too, Meredith. Look at us.
I was shouting myself out.
But like, shout out mostly to me.
Fuck off.
I'm really far. Just kidding. So, you know, quality friendships are what it's all about, especially I guess in New York, because there's tons of people and they're not all quality. Anyway, so everyone shows up to Ciara's event. We find out that, remember that girl Cass that Chris was making out with? Yes. She ghosted him, but she's at the party tonight, so that's like very fun.
Dead.
That's like a very fun crossover.
So funny. I forgot that she had to have known someone to be at that party, so I was so confused why she was at Ciara's party.
That was very fun for me because this doesn't happen to me. So I loved this.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so Lindsay and Carl are here. It's awkward with Danielle, but Lindsay doesn't know what else to do because there's no reasoning with Danielle. Then Corey shows up with Amanda and Kyle and Paige and Craig. And then Kyle and Chris and Carl talk. And Chris is venting about Cassidy ghosting him and her being here. And he says like, he got her in the car and he was like, text me when you get home. And then she never texted him, which I would probably also forget to text you. So I hope Chris followed up and was like, did you make it home okay? And then if she didn't answer, then she's ghosting you. But I think if she just forgot to text you.
But he said that he also texted her to see if she wanted to come to this party with him, and she never responded, which, girlie,
that's awkward.
You got to respond if you're going to go to the event. Like,
you know he's gonna be there. He's filming this damn show.
Yeah, just make it be like, yeah, I'll see you there.
Yeah, girl.
Try and like push him into that friend zone. I know it's hard. I've been there where you're like, can you not?
But you gotta say something.
Yes.
Okay. So Ciara, Paige, Amanda, and Craig talk. We praise Ciara for being here a year. Craig's like, how's dating in New York? Because he cannot believe that Paige goes on dates with people you don't know. But that's literally a dating app.
I'm so confused. Do you think it's also partly his age too?
No,
like,
I think it's Charleston.
But he's never had like dating apps.
He could have in between Naomi and Paige.
I don't think so. He was like weirdly heartbroken. And he dated that one girl where he met her out.
Oh my God, you're right. Not Taylor, but
like
I think
Charleston is so used to you just meet people out.
Yeah.
But also like it's not like he has had dating apps since he was in college like we have.
Yes. So I don't know. I mean,
I just thought
Craig's
this
old,
was
you're right.
so funny.
I thought it was so weird because Paige is like, that is literally dating because she's like, you just date each other's exes, which is like very fucking true.
That's a lot. That's how St. Louis is. Like, you just know everyone. It's a nightmare.
I've
And if you don't
never
know them
lived
personally,
in a
like, you
town like
know
that.
who they know, you know of them.
I've literally never lived in a town like that because even Chicago, like growing up there, that has not happened to me
It's
ever.
horrible because then you're just constantly stepping on minefields, terrified of life.
No thanks. Okay, but I thought this was really funny. This is when Paige is like, Craig would never make it in New York. And I fucking agree. He's too goddamn soft for this city.
Yes. And
I
that's
would
why she has to move to Charleston or wherever.
no. She's too hard for Charleston. They got to come to an agreement and just move to Delaware or some shit.
Like Albany, back where she's
They
from.
got to move to like LA or so. They got to completely start fucking. They're not gonna.
Or like Connecticut, where they like have a home and she has easy access
Oh
to the
my
city.
God, that's rich shit. If they're going to Connecticut, that's
I
crazy.
know.
But yeah, Craig's really soft for the city. I think I would make Craig cry on the streets of New York. I think he would see his first human shit and not know what to do with himself. I've literally seen humans take shits in the middle of the subway.
Oh my God.
Craig would sob. Anyway, so Carl talks to Chris and Kyle about picking up the ring. It's for real. And then Ciara does a speech. She thanks everyone for coming. She starts to cry because everyone means so much to her. And thank you for helping her start her life in New York City. And she's committing to New York because she's committing to herself and her journey and figuring out who she is. And I fucking felt this because I am lost everywhere I go, including New York. But it's like very fun to be lost here.
Yeah. It's the journey.
It's the journey. Whatever.
Did you also notice she said if you wanna fight me, like let's fight.
Yeah, I was like, wild. Good for you, Georgia Peach. Let's get down. People in New York, though, we don't like fight. We just yell at each other because we don't have time to fight. We're like,
I love that.
Fuck you.
That's my vibe.
Okay, so now it's Friday, 3:53 p.m. We're off to the Hamptons. And then it's 4:49 when Danielle shows up at the house, and then Paige, Gabby, and Maya drive down together. No Ciara and Amanda this weekend, but we do have Andrea and Lexi, which no offense is a total upgrade. Okay, if Andrea's here, it's an upgrade. I don't know about Lexi, but
agreed.
So Kyle and Andrea are driving down together. Andrea's really sad Amanda's not coming. And let me tell you, if Andrea ever said this about me, I would live forever because goddamn, if someone this hot man is sad to not see me, fuck me. I've won. Amanda's won life.
Oh yeah.
Period. She's, you know what? She's fun. She's my fun pick because she won. I'm just kidding. The dogs, though, they got spayed and so they're in pain. And okay, so Lindsay
I don't
calls.
like this. Seemed like poor planning on their part. Like, why does Amanda need to miss a weekend?
Maybe Kyle was just like, "Can I have a weekend of getting drunk?" And Amanda was like, "I want a weekend of not getting drunk." And so they were like, "This is what we're gonna do." Okay, so then Lindsay calls. It's 5:21. Carl was in the hospital this morning. What happened, you might ask? So they went to a concert. Carl's behind Lindsay dancing. His arms are around her. Then Carl's like, I need to sit down. He grabs Lindsay. His knees and legs are wobbling. He couldn't feel his legs. So then Lindsay takes him to like the sick tent, I'm assuming at a concert, like the sick, the first aid area. Yeah. And then they're like, oh my God, his heart rate and blood pressure are so low, he needs to go to the ER. So they went to the ER and he just got discharged and now he's napping. And Carl thinks it was too much caffeine and Red Bull, but wouldn't that make his heart rate go up?
Yeah.
So yes. I don't know what was happening, but Kyle thinks it's the stress of everything. Of the proposal, which I thought was Labor Day weekend. I didn't realize it was this weekend.
Me neither.
I don't have time.
What I think is so funny is this when we get Kyle's like flashbacks when he's like, I've been there.
Yeah. When he was really like feverish. Remember? He's
yes.
I think I'm gonna pass out. And Amanda goes, are your pants too tight?
I died laughing at these flashbacks because I never thought that like guys would get so stressed out about their own proposal until
maybe it being on TV too, because I imagine if you're proposing, correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of guess they're gonna say yes. I mean, yes. I think it's still nervous, right? Like you're still like, ooh, but it's not like, I don't know, is it being on TV?
As high stakes? Yeah.
Listen, I've asked boys to turn about in high school and I never felt this stress.
Is Turnabout where like kind of like Sadie Hawkins, where you ask
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy?
it's where the girl asked the guy.
Dude,
If
I had to do
anytime,
that all the time. I went to an all girls high school.
did you ever freak out like this, a panic attack?
No, I would like
You
write on
know they're
people's
gonna say
car.
yes. You know that they're
Yeah.
probably gonna say yes.
Yes. I like, you would know who was available, quote unquote, and who wasn't, like who had already been asked or whatever. So you would slowly like
Yeah.
narrow down your list.
Yeah. So this, I mean, if you've ever had a crazy experience, please let me know. My dad said he was a little nervous, but he was also like 20 something, like
Listen,
24
Chris did
proposing.
it terribly. So
Chris, were
we are
you
not.
nervous? Dustin, were you nervous? Can you guys tell us a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So they might come down tomorrow or tonight, depends on how Kyle's feeling.
Carl, but yep.
So then oh fuck. All these white dudes with the same name, because now I'm reading Chris. And do you know how many times I mixed up Chris and Carl's name too in my notes? I was like, fuck this thing.
That's
Okay,
so funny.
so only Kyle and Chris know about the proposal because Chris is going to take the pictures. So those are the only people he's told.
Did this feel off to you that only those two knew?
I really wanted Danielle to know.
I agree. And I didn't think it needed to be like that. And also, like, I thought at some point during the episode, other people were going to be told.
I get why Carl doesn't want to tell people. I truly get that. However,
I just thought when Lindsay and Carl left, I thought Kyle would turn around, not to get too ahead of
tell
myself,
everyone.
and tell everyone.
Yeah, I do think Danielle
like
should.
I'm so shocked by the
know.
next time on, but let's keep going. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so weird. No one else knew.
Same. Okay, so Maya, Paige, and Gabby get to the house. Danielle's cooking because guess what? They're doing Latino night.
I love this.
I love this. Danielle's gonna make some empanadas. It's gonna be so good. I was pumped immediately. Listen, you guys might not know this because no one knows, but people know because I talk about it. I am Latina. My grandparents are from Guatemala, so I am second generation. I do not speak Spanish. Please do not ask me to, because I suck at languages. If you've heard me try to speak English, you know. And then second, my brother was born with like autism, and then so he was probably gonna have a language deficiency. So my mom's like, we're no longer a bilingual household. And so my brother, I blame him completely. I'm just kidding. Please don't come for me. But he's my brother. I'm allowed to bully him. You can't. Anyway, also my dad's white, so he doesn't know any Spanish. He's an idiot. Anyway, that's where I'm at.
This representation was huge.
So I'm so excited for my Latinos. Okay, so
and we've seen like Danielle and Chris's like budding like friendship, like bonding over this stuff. Like it was so cool.
Yeah, I really like it. Okay, so Andrea and Kyle are here. Paige says it best. There's not a single person on this planet that doesn't get excited when Andrea walks the door. Okay, the energy, the accent, the look of him in love.
He just has like a very upbeat voice. Like it's everything that already gets you pumped.
Yeah.
I bet he gives the best hugs. As someone who doesn't like hugs, I would accept a hug.
Oh my God, especially if he's shirtless. I'm coming. Anyway.
Amen. Do I need to post our photo with Andrea again?
Yes, please. So we relive when he cried about how in love he was last year, which was really sweet, honestly. But we don't like to see Andrea cry. It's against our religion. No. Period. So Lexi's gonna come tomorrow. So then Chris, Sam, and Corey show up. Corey's basically part of the cast. Okay, get with it.
I mean, he's at the reunion, so Jesus.
I'm so pumped about this switch he made. He's like, fuck Craig, I'm on my own show now.
I appreciate him dedicating plenty of weekends to this show because it is bringing it.
He's a star, baby. Fuck Craig on Southern Charm. This dude's a fucking star. Anyway, Kyle tells everyone what happened with Carl. Then we do a shot because it's tequila Latino night. Maya starts whispering to Chris and she's like, I'm gonna put you on blast because I got some intel. And I was like, oh my God, what is she gonna say? She talked to Cass. Like I immediately got really scared.
I didn't think it was about Chris. I didn't hear her say, I'm gonna put you on blast. All I heard was her say, I've got some intel. And I was like, oh, did Corey and Sam sleep together? Like what is happening?
Yeah, I heard that.
And then I rewound it because I was so confused. And I was so excited when I heard that her tell him she was gonna put put him on blast.
I got nervous. So then we find out Chris got laid and everyone
Yeah.
cheers, but Maya knows the rating. So then I got really scared that they were about to say on national TV that this dude's a 2 in bed. And
She was gonna give 3.
I was like, oh no. So we find out Chris fucked Lauren on Wednesday. He left Gabby and Maya mid-sentence to go talk to Lauren, which was so fucking funny.
to see
In this situation, I am Gabby and Maya. I already know where I belong.
I know, but he played it right. Like when you're with your friend, you're like,
yeah.
Well, you're like, screw them. Like, I don't need to finish this conversation. They'll totally understand.
Good for him.
And the girls played it well. They just like slowly moved away. Yeah.
So he actually had gotten Lauren's number at Kyle's birthday, but he forgot. That's what we do.
He was hammered.
Lauren rated him out of 10. And he got an 8.
That's huge.
That's good. Sam says that's really good for your first time.
And I love Sam so much.
She's so good. Funny. So funny. Okay, so happy Latino night. We're gonna do empanadas and salsa. And so now it's 6:17. Sam and Corey, we find out hooked up in Montauk. It sounds wild. It sounds like Sam could even fucking walk the next day.
I'm obsessed with this.
This is crazy. I have so many questions. If their sex tape leaks, I'm buying it. I cannot wait. But Sam didn't get the ick and she wants to do it again.
That's huge. It's so easy to get the ick.
I guess she just needed a fucking break from his giant penis. Anyway, so now it's 7:03 p.m. We're making empanadas. Kyle calls Carl. Carl's all by himself. So then Kyle's like, was it nerves? And Carl's like, it's a big part of it. Trying to pull off the surprise of the century, having parents come and everything. And then they mention it's tomorrow. When I was like, what? I thought it was in a week.
It's insane.
I thought we still had time.
I did too. I did not remember this in real time when it happened that it was the weekend before Labor Day.
Was it? I remember now.
I just remember seeing pictures and I don't have a date in my mind.
Okay, so now it's 7:49 p.m. Everyone's dressing Latin except for Kyle, who literally just buttoned up his shirt all the way. Andrea, of course, has no buttons. The button thief has visited yet again.
I mean, I think he had one button just so it came together at the end.
Should be. We're Latin tonight.
His abs, Andrea's abs, look even more defined than I've ever seen them.
I'm literally in love.
Obsessed.
Anyway,
I'm obsessed.
I can't believe he like touched my shoulder. Can you believe he touched your shoulder too? Anyway, so Danielle looks great. She's in her Latin dress. She walks in. It's Latino night. Chris didn't do anything for Latino night except get ready, show up as a Latin man.
He will do salsa dancing later, so we'll give him that credit.
Yes. We take a picture with our empanadas for Danielle's mom, and then Danielle opens up.
Wait, and shout out to Maya. She helped make them all.
Yeah, whatever, Maya.
That's a good friend. Right. Nobody ever helps with shit.
No one helps Danielle ever. Yeah. Okay, so Danielle says she likes having Chris in the house because being Hispanic, she's obviously Latin and she never really shared that part with her housemate. So having Chris here like really brought that out of her. And she's always kind of pushed that part of herself down because she wanted to be successful. And to her, that meant being successful in finance, which meant like being successful around a bunch of white men. Oh my God, I started tearing up, you guys. I
really loved her talking about this because she has never, up until like we didn't get anything but the white experience up until like Ciara and Maya joined. And Maya's really the one who changed the tune of talking about things. Yeah. And Chris has been very unapologetically like vocal about his Hispanic roots.
Yeah. And remember even Maya and Ciara, talked about being the only people of color and that like hurt Danielle because she is. But she knows that she's like suppressed that, so people don't think of her that way. And I understand that. It's
hard to change the tune when everybody knows you as one thing.
Yeah, I grew up as like in a white area with like I'm half white, but I grew up with my Guatemalan family. So like I'm closer to my Guatemalan roots than I am my Italian side. Yeah. And so I got this. Danielle at one point, I don't know where, says like she never felt accepted by like white people or by Latin people. She was always in the middle.
Yeah.
And I like really felt that because all my white friends were like, you're our brown friend, but all the like, I don't want to say actual Latins. That's crazy because I am.
They're like full
but
or like
the ones that spoke Spanish mainly always really shamed me for not speaking Spanish and always told me I was like not real. And I was like, always like, oh, I don't really like fit in anywhere. And so like I got this. Also, as a woman in finance, I like get it. I like really love Danielle. I'm so sorry. Okay.
I love that it's like mirroring your experience though. Like it
does.
I can't imagine like that moment because I'm not having the same one as you, but as a different viewer, I really enjoyed seeing the different side of Danielle too. I think like one thing I always try to find in all TV shows is that like where you can relate in any way. And I think no matter what, it's really hard to change. Like you build this persona no matter what, like who you are. And then trying to change that is really hard. But I really commend Danielle for like trying to make changes and like show a full side of herself. And I really admire her for doing that, especially on TV. I like I sometimes struggle even that with just normal friendships, you know, like showing who you are fully.
Yeah, it's wild, the shit I grew up with. Even like I remember I didn't wear hoop earrings because someone told me I looked like, they used a bad word, but they basically told me I look like trashy Hispanic, like they call me a trashy Mexican with it. And I've never worn hoop earrings again, but I really love hoop earrings.
Girly, wear them proudly.
Like it's crazy the shit you go through as a kid in like a white area that like
and how like one moment can shape like so much of your life.
Weird. So I
break
like
that barrier down. Like
I love Danielle being like, I'm proud of being that though. Like, why can't I just be Latin?
Wear hoop earrings, Alicia.
I will. It's like a big step. I just started wearing my hair curly. Okay, these were also the white kids that told me I look better with straight hair. And then so I would wake up at 5:30 every morning to make sure my hair was straight. Okay, people suck. Anyway.
People suck. So live your life, Alicia. You got it.
Thank you so much. So Gabby starts tearing up. This is where I started crying and asked Danielle when she found herself attractive, like and a person of color. And Gabby says she didn't realize it until 26. Gabby says that she's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's just her way to like say that not everyone's into Black girls. And like me, Gabby grew up around a lot of white people and she didn't really fit in. Oh, Gabby says it. She didn't really fit in with the white people or the people of color. And she had to really think why people wouldn't date her. And she started to think like, oh, to date me, you have to be into Black women. But like
you had to be like, have a shtick for it. Like,
honestly, I felt the same way. I still do sometimes where you're like, I must not be their type. They must not like Latin women. And I actually had a dude like reject me for homecoming because I was Latin.
What?
That's what he told his friend. He's like, I'm not going to ask her. She's like, oh, a Hispanic girl. And I was like, oh my God, I hang out with your white ass friends. So like shit happens. So I always thought like they have to be into Hispanic women to
it has to be like a type of thing. They're always
a shtick, right?
Yeah.
And like not to put my dad on blast, but his celebrity crush is Salma Hayek and she's of Latin descent. And so my mom was always like, you have a thing for Latin girls. And I was like, do I need to find a guy that's into Latin girls? So it's a thing that you think. But like, honestly, we should really fall in love with the fucking person and 100%. Not like what they look like. Anyway.
Should we all do Love is Blind?
Honestly, I tried to apply. The application is so goddamn long.
It is.
It's not even worth it. Anyway, so Maya always thought of herself as an acquired taste, which is another way to say like, you're just not into me because of the color of my skin.
It's interesting the language, like what you tell yourself to make it okay, or like to like make it make sense.
One dude also told me he's not into, and listen, I don't have this, and it was really racist of him to say this, but he said he's not into nappy hair, to which I looked at him and I was like, sir, I don't think you know what that is. And also, how fucking rude. Like it's so then I got in my head like people don't like me because of my hair. Well, I really was in a racist town, huh?
It seems like it. We're unpacking a lot here. Damn. But like people don't realize like comments are just so unnecessary. Like, why do you need to make comments about my appearance?
It like hits.
If you're not jiving with me, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, if you
but
just
why
don't
you
like
gotta make
me
it about your
personality
hair
sucks, just let me know.
You're a terrible fucking person, but your hair is still incredible.
Yeah, people date. Listen, the straight hair girls got a lock on this market. Anyway, we're changing it though with curly hair TikTok. Gen Z is coming to save me anyway.
Love it.
Danielle says, you know, you lose yourself a little bit when you hear stuff like that, which is true, but she's proud of who she is now. And it's taken her a while to get there, but she's going to celebrate it rather than repress it. And we applaud. Me too, Danielle. And yeah, Danielle just wants everyone to know her in a different way. And Chris gets it because he said he immediately felt a connection to Danielle being Hispanic. I literally then thought about how little Hispanic friends I have. Just so everyone knows. I did have one Guatemalan friend growing up, but she bullied me for a while. So, but I stayed her friend because her mom was also Guatemalan and her dad was also white. So we started to tell people we were cousins, and all those racist fucks believed us.
Oh my god!
Because we were the only two Guatemalan people. And honestly, besides my family, I don't know a ton of Guatemalan people. So if you guys know any, let me know.
You should meet some Hispanic friends in New York. Like, that would make a difference. I feel like that would be easier to like
would too.
Bring the change similar to Danielle of like, you can be proud of everything. It's not that you're not proud, but you can be outwardly proud and vocal about it.
It's really scary to meet like Latin people when you don't speak Spanish because they like really expect that out of you. And I think we're normalizing it. For example, just as a side, I'm going on a tangent. In West Side Story, the movie, the girl that plays Anita, she doesn't speak Spanish, but she does a great job playing Anita. And so, but Lin-Manuel Miranda casted her, and then she did an interview with Lynn, and she was like, "Thank you for casting me. Like, I always thought of myself as a bad Latina because I can't speak Spanish, but like you showed me like I can still hit those roots and not have to like hit every single box.
You don't have to check this box,
which I was like, oh my god, twins. Wow. So like it's real out there. But yeah, if you're in New York and you're like Latin at all and you want to like hang out, let me know.
Hey, thank you. Thanks so much for sharing that, Alicia. All of that.
Of course. That's anyway,
huge.
So we'll talk about Chris. Chris is very happy to have moments like this together because this is what his family's all about hanging out, whatever. So now he's going to teach us how to salsa dance. Meredith, you ever salsa?
No.
I salsaed once recently in New York for the first time.
There you go.
I still don't really know it, but I know the basic step.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good ballroom dancer.
I get really nervous about like people watching me in these moments. Yeah. So I choose not to.
But I learned the basic step where you step in ... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I got it.
That was fun.
Yeah. And so Danielle is going to be her true self for the first time. Danielle Oliveira, Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's salsa dance. So Gabby gets to dance with Andrea, and I'm like really happy and jealous.
A dream.
Yeah. And Danielle and Meyer dance together, and they all do really well. It looks really fun. Chris is doing a really good job teaching. So then Chris and Carl talk. Chris and Kyle.
But the problem is they're talking about Carl, so there's way too many names.
Yeah, which was my next line. Carl seems good. So Kyle talks about how when he proposed, he felt feverish. So Carl's really nervous, but he's not having second thoughts. He's probably just stressed because things aren't perfect between Lindsay and her best friend, which I don't think is why he's nervous. But
I don't think so either. I think the planning is taking a lot of hold. I think that's some added stress. Like
I wish he was more on top. Like, should I tell Danielle kind of thoughts? But I don't think Danielle's in his thoughts.
I don't think so either, which makes me sad.
Well, so now it's 1:49 a.m. Danielle's asleep on the couch, and Corey goes looking for any cuties, and he finds Sam. He goes, "Hey, I'm looking for any cuties." And Sam goes, "What?" And he goes, "I'm looking for any cuties." And she goes, "What?" And he goes, "I'm looking for any cuties." And it was funny. Okay, so it's Saturday, 9:40 a.m. We see a really gross fart, and I hated it. Anyway, so Andrea and Kyle are in the kitchen. They wake up Danielle, who's on the couch.
Why was she on the couch, by the way?
I don't think they were at the bed. I don't think they planned it right.
There's no way she could have slept in a bed with a girl. There's no way they were all full.
Did she want to sleep? She probably could have slept with Corey and Sam like in that other bed.
Oh, maybe she wanted to avoid that.
They didn't show me enough where the whole layout was.
She got mad at the guys for waking her up, and I was like, girlie, you're the one on the couch.
Also, I understand Chris is a boy, right? And he has 2 beds.
Oh, I would have slept in the bed next to him.
Yeah, why doesn't she just sleep
That's
in
what I'm saying.
bed?
There was a bed somewhere she could have slept in.
Is there like a weird rule that boys and girls don't share? Maybe Robert wouldn't have
no
liked that.
way.
I don't know.
There's no way because they all have bathrooms tied to them. So like you could change in a different room. Chris
and Danielle literally just called each other hermanos. So like why can't they just
share a room in different beds?
I don't know if it's a Robert thing, but like whatever. Okay, so I'm not blaming Robert, obviously, but like I don't know if what the situation
their boundaries are in their relationship.
I would be on the bed. Okay, so yeah, Andrea and Kyle in the kitchen. Where are we at? Oh, Maya and Danielle decide they're gonna make this house an all-inclusive resort. And
I love this.
This is when I remembered that they don't have TVs because I started laughing and was like, "What a dumb thing!" I love it, but also like you just know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that they can't just sit around and watch TV. Like they have to do something.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do some spa shit. We talk about Oliver, and how in the mornings when he wakes up with Maya, he literally runs like it's a one-night stand he regrets. It's too soon for a drawer, even though it's been like a year. But Maya says the trust that her and Oliver have made, she doesn't find stable. There's something holding her back.
Red flags, I mean, on that last comment, everywhere. I feel like I am someone who would freak out a little bit. Like I can't get too serious. Like I can't give you a drawer because that would be too serious. But I feel like I would still trust you, hopefully, or I wouldn't be in a relationship for a year.
Listen, I have too many clothes. You're definitely not getting a drawer, but I'll let you keep shit here. You're just not getting a full drawer. Like we're gonna have to figure it out. But also if you say the trust you built isn't stable after a year,
she's also giving this interview, I think, when they've already broken up.
Yeah, I see why they broke up.
Me too.
But she also reminds us she got engaged after 6 months, so she can jump. She's just not jumping with Oliver.
This made it even more clear. Like, Oliver's not your person.
Well, I was like, are you scared with Oliver? Like,
it seems like it.
Or is it like just in general that you don't want to do that again with a person? Like, what's your vibe?
The way she said it made it seem like, oh, with the right person, I could jump.
We have seen nothing more than them like high-fiving this season. So I believe. Okay, so Andrea's sitting there listening to the girls, but then he remembers Lexi's coming around 12:30. He's very happy. The girls decide they want to do boozy brunch outside. Then Carl and Lindsay show up. Carl feels better. He tells
everyone runs around Carl when he arrives. No one really greets Lindsay in this moment.
And if you notice, so Carl was telling the story. Lindsay comes in later. She hugs the one side of the kitchen, but not the side Danielle's on.
I did notice.
She starts jumping into the story with Carl.
Yes.
So
I noticed that and wanted to mention it before we really get into the talking part.
Yeah. So yeah, a panic attack sent him to the hospital. But you know what? He's so in love because Lindsay, the angel she is, slept in the hospital with him. But like also in New York, you don't have families. So like I would expect my best friend to sleep in the hospital with me 100%.
I do agree. The picture of them actually sleeping in the same hospital bed was weird to me.
No, absolutely. Listen, I don't care if we're fucking in love. Those hospital beds are twin size.
Tiny. I can barely fit on that thing.
No, I had a twin size bed in college for a year, and literally me and my boyfriend could not fit on it. No. I fucking hated when he was there.
And that's like, bigger than a hospital bed.
Go home. Yeah, no, get the hell.
If I'm trying to
relax. I'm trying to fucking relax. You're in my hospital. I just almost died.
Get out of the bed. You don't need it.
Died because I had too much Red Bull. Get out.
I do love him saying like, I got to see her like support me, and I was like, that's really sweet. That is a really like moment. That's
really sweet. Get the fuck out of my bed.
Get the fuck out of his bed. Like let him lay in that bed.
You know what shows way more support if you're sleeping on the couch.
Yes,
that's some support.
It's a chair, but yes,
whatever. So it's Saturday, 11:54. We're cooking some bottomless brunch. And then at 12:47 p.m., Lexi's here. And Kyle and Andrea escort Lexi out for brunch. Andrea's so happy. He's like beaming.
Literally the biggest smile on his face.
Now we have brunch. We find out there's a bonfire tonight. And they keep cutting to like Carl and Kyle's faces.
Which I knew immediately this was a cover up.
Yeah, same. Especially when Lindsay's like, what's the dress code? And literally all the girls are like, yeah, because they don't know. And they're like, I think maxi dresses are the way. And Lindsay's like, is that too much? And Kyle goes, I think that's perfect. And I was like, shut up.
Yeah, like, he was like, that's the vibe we're going for, elevated chic.
I'm going to wear a tux is what he says. So there it is. Anyway, so we talk about Lexi and Andrea and how they have a great sex life, which I don't fucking doubt.
I'm so confused why Andrea wanted to be quote unquote put on the spot.
Yeah, I don't know. This was a mistake.
This was weird.
You know what? No one doubted that Andrea is gonna make a woman.
No,
every single time he brings coffee right there.
Why do you need to rub it in for the viewers, the rest of these people in the house? Like,
we get it. He's hot. We get it. We get it. Stop. And he's very giving. We know.
Yes,
he's in love. We get it. Okay, but then Chris gets so weird. Oh my god!
But the thing is, they asked for it.
That's true.
Didn't think Chris's comment was so weird because Andrea asked for it so much.
Well, Chris even said, he's like, I have a really bad one. And Andrea's like, give it to me. And so Chris is like, what's it like being here with your girlfriend and then Paige at the same time? And everyone is like, what a weird.
Everyone was like, question. Chris, I can't believe you would. And I was like, what?
You asked.
Like so twice.
Lexi's like, I know that Andrea and like Paige slept together. It's not a fucking secret. And then Paige is mad. She's like, this is so dumb, Lexi. Don't feel uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't know what has happened. Anyway,
Lexi played it so cool. Paige was weirdly annoyed. Yeah.
Okay, so brunch is over. Chris does apologize to Lexi. Sam is in the kitchen and she's like, I'm gonna go make out with Corey. And she does it right in front of Kyle. And Kyle's like, hey guys, it's me. I'm here. Anyway, the girls are really excited for Sam and Corey. Lindsay, though, asked, like, is this his thing? Like, does he go somewhere and then, like, find a girl, like a blonde girl specifically, and then just, like, hang out with her? Because she did this to Jess in Vermont, not Julia, because they gave the name. I wrote it down. Haha, suckers.
Look at Alicia.
Paige says, no, it's different with Sam. He's more affectionate with her. Great. So then Lexi, Lindsay, Andrea, and Carl talk. A year ago, who would have thought we'd be here? Not me. Anyway, so Lindsay and Carl, that's what they do. They literally did the whole exact, that's exactly what happened.
It is.
Lindsay and Carl have known each other for 6 years. The first time they met, Carl remembers Lindsay was wearing a blue dress.
And that was incredible.
That's amazing, but he could have rewatched.
That is also true.
He could have rewatched
but
it.
Still, like,
but it's amazing to remember that.
Yeah.
To even want to go back and rewatch that. That's amazing.
And we got some great flashbacks where they have mentioned that they were into each other. And so, like, this gave me more hope for their relationship.
You know what? I bet Everett doesn't even remember what Lindsay was wearing and he was dating her.
No.
Did you see he got married though in Ireland and Lindsay and Carl went?
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. I love how weird it is sometimes. Anyway. Agreed. Oh, I can't say weird. Lindsay's going to come for me. Anyway, Lexi and Andrea met for the first time and she was also wearing a blue dress. So maybe it's the color blue. Maybe I should wear more blue.
I was just thinking that same thing.
I'm not gonna blue's not my color. Anyway,
what about blue jeans?
Oh, dope. Hell yeah.
There's our loophole.
There you go. So Carl says he was always attracted to Lindsay. We see him say that she's like the sister that he wants to have sex.
I can't.
That was so funny. That was so funny. That's when he was like with Paige too, or trying to win her over. Anyway, Lindsay had that scene in season 1 when she was like, when Carl flirts with her, her heart melts. Ooh. Even though she was in love with Everett. Ooh. Never it. Haha. Anyway. So Lindsay asks like Lexi what it was like when Andrea was trying to win her back. Like, how did she feel? Because we saw like Andrea was very upset that Lexi was not returning his phone calls. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Lexi says Andrea was blocked. Like she couldn't face seeing him. But every weekend they ran into each other, which is wild in New York City. He was definitely stalking her.
Yes.
And he would go up to her and bare his soul, which is kind of hot. And then she gave him a chance. And then she starts to get really emotional because she said it was really harsh that she did that to someone she loves so much. But like, if you were hurt, girl, I get it. It was not that harsh.
100%. But I feel like this
You
is,
should
you
do
can
that
see like
more.
Lexi loves him so much. Like we got to see Andrea love her.
I know this was
This was,
sweet. This was sweet that she like cried about it.
I
And then
like,
I was like, they're a really hot couple. And I'm really glad Andrea's loved because he deserves that.
I know, but I was like, I'm never going to have anything like this. I'm not as hot as them.
Never.
I will never find someone who loves me like
No
this.
one would ever cry because they loved me so much.
No.
Even my own parents aren't going to cry
I'm still
because they
going to have
love
to
me so
convince a
much.
future partner to make me coffee every morning. That's my only goal.
And even then, they might not do it.
It's a lot of work.
I'm telling you, my parents would not cry talking about how much they love me. They'd be like, yeah, we love her. Yeah, she's fine.
They wouldn't even probably say the word love. They'd be like, yeah, she's there.
I like her.
She's I like her.
Okay, so Lexi is so happy they found their way back to each other. Amazing. If you want to cry because you love me so much, let me know. Anyway, so Maya is in the pool with Corey. So she asks him what's happening with Sam. He says he actually likes her. Corey is worried about how like Sam feels because he's doing the thing where like, why would she say? Like, am I alone here?
So excited for that.
He's floundering a little bit. But yeah, he doesn't want her with another dude, and they've talked about liking each other, but they haven't talked about after the summer because it gets complicated because Corey doesn't live here. He lives in one of the Carolinas, and I'll never remember which one. So then we cut to Lindsay telling Lexi how she has to pick up firewood, and immediately I was like, what a weird cover up. I love it. So then it's 3:30, and Lindsay's like, Carl, what time is it? And he's like, 3:30, and she's like, what time do we have to leave? And he goes, soon. And she goes, okay, I have to get ready before we get the firewood. And I was like, this is wild to me.
This cover story that I was wondering, are they gonna get any firewood?
They literally bought firewood for no fucking reason. It was so funny. Okay, so the idea is they're gonna go to the beach and meet the group there, but they're gonna pick up
quote unquote.
The group is gonna show up after them. They're going to get firewood. The idea is they're going to get to the beach and the group's going to be there and they're going to have the firewood for the bonfire. Yes. That's the idea.
That's the story.
Kyle walks Carl out, gives him a hug, and Lindsay and Carl leave. He calls her sweet babe.
Carl did warn people there were going to be a lot of babes in the episode.
Sweet babe was my favorite.
Sweet babe, come on.
Yeah, they go to the beach. He calls her sweet babe again. And they actually grab the fire. Lindsay's like, can you grab the firewood? I was stuck.
Because she was like, do we bring it? And he was like, maybe one.
They're holding hands. And then the other hand, Carl has a bag and the firewood. Yes. Which is cracking me up because I'm just imagining how heavy it is. Like, and I was like 4 logs.
I was like, the commitment to the bit, like
the bit is it's so good.
I would have been like, oh, we'll have somebody else walk back and get it.
Yeah, let's see how the group's doing or something.
Yeah.
No, she's like, can you grab it? And he's like, yeah.
I would have been like, oh, Maya texted me. They were able to find some on the beach. We'll bring it if.
I don't know. I literally would have been like, let's leave it here till like it's like dark. It was still daylight, you know? Yeah. Whatever. So we go back to the house. Maya, Danielle, and Sam were talking about
this is when I thought like Kyle was gonna like announce it to the group.
I did too. Yeah. So Corey likes Sam. Sam's so excited. She wants to be exclusive. And then Sam makes a joke like, do you think Corey will propose over Labor Day weekend? And again, I'm like, I forget this is not it. And so Maya says, I think someone else will.
Which she is like spot on.
So then Danielle is like, what do you know? And Maya's just like, I think that there's going to be an engagement. And Danielle's like, what the fuck? What are you holding back?
And well, like, because Danielle was like, how do you know this? What proof? And Maya's like, I don't have anything. I've just been like watching.
Maya's literally not been in the season because she's just been watching.
She's been very perceptive.
We know that there's a ring that was purchased, right?
Yes. And Danielle knows that.
And Maya saw a conversation with Kyle and Carl that looked really serious. So she's just inferring. And Danielle says, well, if that's going to happen, she doesn't even want to come next weekend. And she gets upset and walks off, which I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want to fucking come? Because in the upcoming episode, you're upset that you weren't told about it. But like you just said, you don't want to come.
I was like, this is so dramatic of Danielle. Like, this is too much.
This is so rude.
Because I understand I'm on her in her boat of like making the comments of like, this is weird, this seems fast. Totally understand her comments, but then she always says like, but I support you guys. So this is the opposite. You can say this is kind of weird for me to like get used to and that I support you, but then when they're getting engaged, you throw a tantrum. Or like you don't even know they're getting engaged. When Maya says she thinks they're getting engaged next weekend, you throw a tantrum.
You throw a literal shitstorm.
I understand getting mad in the preview for next week about not being told. Because like you're a little like bitter.
Sure, but then you should, why wouldn't you even want to go? Like, what was this comment? I didn't understand it. Anyway,
she's like upset about herself in this proposal that has nothing to do with her. It's really selfish at this point.
Also, Danielle is someone who loves proposals. I don't care if it's my worst enemy. I want to go see that proposal.
Just get over yourself in this moment. Like, this isn't about you.
Yeah. So then we go back to the beach with Lindsay and Carl. We're walking.
This is so funny.
This was so funny. I like started laughing out loud. So there's a sign that says 7 years, and Lindsay goes, 7 years? Is that the name of the beach?
I literally died.
Cackled out loud, cackled. And then there's a sign that says best friends, and she's like, what? And
she's like, babe, what?
Babe, what was that? And he pulls her along, like literally drags her. He's like, come on, I got the wood. Like, he's like, this is heavy. Okay, so then there's a picnic set up.
This was a good line when they hit the beach, because she clearly sees something else is going on here.
There's a picnic set up, and as to not be like I'm proposing, he says, we haven't been able to break away from the group, so I planned this little like picnic set
Perfect.
Up. Great. And she's like, oh my God. And then she goes, should I sit down? I don't know why it was funny. And he goes, let's stand for now. And she just goes, okay. And so they're just standing for like a split second. They're just standing together. And I was like, what did Lindsay think was like, let's just stand for a second. I was like, for the cameras? But then he immediately gets down on one knee and she's so surprised.
Her surprise made me so happy. It was so genuine. Like,
yes. This is the first time I'm honestly seeing them as lovers and not as friends.
Me too. Yeah, and I was like really rooting for them.
Yeah, I was like really
pumped. Have no doubts about them in this moment.
Yeah, I'm like fucking pumped. So he does a really cute little speech. She, of course, says yes. She doesn't even look at the ring. She just starts making out with him.
I think is so sweet. Like, so she just wants to marry him.
But she does love the ring. And it's like very cute. I really fell for them in this moment.
Oh my God. I was so happy.
I was really happy. Okay, then we get next time, which I'm happy this didn't end in like a to be continued.
Me too.
With like Carl opening the ring and
or them like walking up to the beach and her being like, what's going on? Like that there wasn't enough to like cut it off, thank God.
Yeah. So next time, it's last weekend vibes. Paige is gonna get the most drunk. Sam and Corey discuss their future. Gabby goes on a blind date. Kyle tells everyone Carl's proposing. Danielle's not happy she wasn't included. She cries and walks out the door. Then the engagement party happens. And then Robert talks to Carl about how Danielle is feeling. And then Carl gets upset and yells at the cameras, which isn't funny, but like kind of funny.
It is. It kind of reminds me of
Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do fun, not fun.
Let's do fun first.
My fun's a man. No, I'm just kidding. Because Andrea said he wants it. No. Do you have your fun?
Well, I just thought we were gonna pick the couple.
Oh, you assume, but
I feel like we have to. Like, what a big moment.
I don't know. You didn't pick Sheena and Vanderpump until like the last time you could have picked her for that wedding.
All right.
It was like 7 episodes.
Did you want me to pick Jax and Brittany every time that they had a wedding moment?
No, we never pick them.
Exactly. I'm picking Lindsay. I'm really rooting for this girl and this love story. Like, she was so happy. I've never been on her team so hard.
Yeah, I really like loved Lindsay.
Like, and her with Andrea and Lexi, like all of it. Like, she was just so happy. She was a good partner to Carl in the like hospital moment, except she just really should have just given him the stupid bed, but like I can get over it.
Good for Lindsay. It was a good episode for Lindsay. Listen, I think I'm going to save my couple for next week with the engagement party because I have to pick Danielle opening up with her Latin roots.
God,
really,
there's so much that happens in an episode. I already forgot that happened.
It really like
good pick. You're right
with me. And I really felt it to a place that I like can't explain.
Yes, so, that's a good pick. Good pick.
So I had to. It has nothing to do with trauma. I think she was insane for like getting fucking mad about the proposal, but 100%. She made some empanadas and that won me over, period. That's it. Well, who's your not fun?
Man, this is hard. I really don't think there is anyone.
Yeah, everyone was fucking fun. Even people who didn't come for the summer because they were at Ciara's
party. But like Ciara was great.
Yeah, she had a great party.
I know. And like
we picked Craig.
That's a good pick.
It's just like random, like fuck Craig.
Fuck Craig.
What did I say? I know I said like fuck someone, right? Did I not?
I don't know.
Oh my God, there's really no not fun.
It's really hard.
Like Sam and Corey had sex and that was great.
I know. And Gabby had the 29 page.
I have one.
Oh, who?
Okay, I'm gonna pick Maya because I think she needs to get out of her relationship.
I was just thinking that.
Okay, should we just both pick Maya? Or should we one of us pick Craig?
Oh, I'll pick Craig. Pick Craig.
Because Craig exists.
Because I actually kind of annoyed he's really not around any of the weekends.
Also,
I came once.
Also, there's no doubt in my mind I can make Craig cry. So
I want Craig now to see someone shitting on the NYC subway. Like that would be a dream come true.
I pray that for him. Anyway,
like he would ever go on the subway. That pretty boy.
Yeah, he would get killed. No, I'm just kidding. He would get shanked immediately. Okay, time for podcast by the people. Actually, let me refresh this because I posted late. People are posting as we speak. Okay, Tyranny starts and says, "Good episode, but holy shit, the preview for next week. Oh my God." And let's be real, after the VPR trailer leak, are we even thinking about anything else? No, check out our pre-show on Patreon. It's all we talked about. Jackie says, Danielle's reaction at the end of the episode teased to learning about the engagement. I'm so annoyed. I just don't get how you could be that upset at two friends getting engaged. Dustin and I didn't agree on this, but I'm officially done trying to see Danielle's point of view on it's super not cool.
I get the initial reaction of like, I can't believe I wasn't told.
Yeah, I'd be upset. Like, if it's my best friend, whether we're fighting or not, I want to be involved.
And that's your first reaction. Like, get that. But I don't get that. I'm not coming back next week. And if they're getting engaged.
Yeah, that was
come
weird
on.
comment.
Stop making this about you. This is a huge like moment, even if you don't like them. Even Paige was like helping Lindsay get ready for the freaking bonfire that she didn't even know would be her engagement.
Yeah. Okay, Katie said, and I think this is some like really good insight. Everyone watch Winter House season 2, episode 6. Kyle said, when Lindsay and Carl were coming to Vermont, I cried when Carl told me they were together. The difference is Kyle and Carl talked about what was going on with him, and Lindsay and Loverboy and worked it out. Danielle wants to half-ass say what is bothering her. It won't get resolved because I'm not sure she fully knows why she is so upset about it. But the previews where she lost it when they got engaged infuriated me. Be happy for your best friend. She finally found happiness after all those idiots. I have never been a Lindsay stan until this season. Let the girl be happy. Oh my God. Welcome to the dark side, to the Lindsay stans.
I'm on the same boat.
I think she's upset because Lindsay maybe never talked to her about it and gave her the grace that Carl gave Kyle with like thinking it's weird. However, she needs to communicate that. Do I think Lindsay's going to listen? No. But like, do I think Danielle's bad at communicating? Yes. And do I think Carl could help Lindsay understand in a way that doesn't make her upset? Also, yes.
But also like be able to separate your best friend's huge life moment and from your feelings, emotions right now.
I agree. I understand the initial, like, how could he not tell me?
Yeah.
But after that, you got to get over it. And what's going to anger me is that it gets brought up at their engagement party. And like, that's not fair to Carl. Like, this is supposed to be a really happy night. Like, do it the next day or something. Don't do it this night.
Agreed. I think like what we see of Robert saying to Carl was really good points. And I think somebody else maybe saying it to Carl can help hit it home. But again, why does this have to be the day of? Stop making this about you.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous for next week because I think I'm going to be pissed. But I really love the points, but be really pissed at the timing.
In a way, I'm like very happy for Robert being like a really good boyfriend in this scenario, but like just not the time, you know, just like calm down.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tonette says, I love that Ciara threw a 1 year in NYC party. I just love her so much. You know what? I really like that too. And I'm upset I didn't think of it first. At first, I thought it was really a little extra, but like I really do like it. Tonette said, I really enjoyed the episode so far. I enjoyed Danielle feeling comfortable talking about her Hispanic culture and Chris sympathizing and there to back her up. I enjoyed Gabby's heartfelt discussion, which made me tear up because I fight that battle every day. Tonette, oh my God, girl, you know what we go through? Oh my God, that's like so great. I'm so like so happy. We can relate, Tonette. Tonette also says, Carl gets down on one knee and I cry. I love proposals and weddings. Me too. I fucking love them. And I looked at Robert having Danielle's back next episode, and I don't think Carl should be blamed. He was carrying out his fiance's wishes. And if Lindsay's not cool with Danielle, why would he involve her in the proposal?
But that's why you have to be able to have a friendship one-on-one. Like Carl and Danielle's friendship shouldn't suffer because of Lindsay and Danielle's.
Yeah. We saw what happened last episode when he just talked to her. I think
it's so difficult.
I think there's a lot being said behind closed doors. So maybe if Lindsay said something like, I never want to be friends with Danielle again, that's why Carl didn't include her. Fine. But I think when Carl would ask, if Carl asked Lindsay, who's your best friend, she would say like, well, it was Danielle. So like, it's still there somehow. It's a very complicated issue and we just don't know what's happening behind closed doors.
Yeah. I'm intrigued about a reunion in this topic. I'm curious what Andy's gonna like do with this
too, because I think Danielle's wrong, but I think she was.
But I want Andy like call out Carl. Like, don't you think you could have helped here? Like, you clearly got it when you got like talk to Danielle.
Carl infuriated me.
Like somebody submit that question. I don't do Twitter, so Alicia submit that question for me.
Damn it, I missed the opening. Anyway, that's it.
Oh fuck, they already did film it. I forgot.
That's all we got. We did it. Do all the things. I will not forget Vanderpump because, as you said, can we think about anything else?
Insane, yeah.
But yeah, leave us a review, rate us, join our Patreon, follow us on Instagram.
All the things.
You know, don't yell at us or do. I don't really care. That's it.
But thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye.